I've done something special here. I've used M1 Finance in a way that's allowed me to capture my $250,000 portfolio and go so far as to share it with my subscribers. So in this video, I'm going to be chronicling my 77 holdings, 20 of which are Vanguard ETFs, a good mix of total stock market, ETFs, and bond holdings, and the rest of the 57 are equities holdings, definitely heavily weighted toward the dividend growth perspective, but you guys are going to get to monitor the portfolio for yourself and actually have the prospects of investing in it if you want. The irony in this whole thing is M1 makes it possible for me to not only share a large portfolio like this, but from a relative perspective, it allows new investors the opportunity with as little as a few $100s to invest in the exact same portfolio. It allows you to look at what I'm pushing out there in way of my portfolio. You can omit, add to, change how you see fit, and it's really changing the investing game for the better. It's really providing a lot more opportunity and access to the market like it's never been before, and it's never been a better time to be an investor. It's super exciting to be able to provide not only transparency on the way that I invest, but also give people the opportunity with a one-page view to scroll through a $250,000 portfolio like this with ease, and have the opportunity to share in how people seek out their opportunity in the stock market. So with that, guys, I will kick you into M1 Finance, which is just an awesome platform for new investors to look to get started and start to build your pie. You'll know what that means when you kick in there and start to explore the aesthetics of what the M1 Finance opportunity has to offer. So I will kick you in there now, guys. Please enjoy. All right, guys, so I've dropped you into M1 Finance here to provide you guys some transparency on my entire portfolio. Now, these are the larger equities portfolios. These are both self-directed Roth IRA accounts, as well as the bond aspect of my portfolio. So these are three different accounts lumped into one, and these make up really the bulk of the equities and fixed income. So this is just an awesome way to demonstrate this information. I'm going to share this in the description of the link, and I'm going to throw it in the community as well. This just opens up a whole different opportunity about sharing information and how people are seeking their exposure to the stock market. I was able to take every holding and drop it into M1 Finance. Now, I wasn't able to get the percentages perfect. What I had to do is I had to estimate those holdings that were less than 1%. I had to award them a 1% allocation in this. And then holdings that were 1 to 2%, I went ahead and awarded them whatever it was closest to, either 1 or 2% respectively. And then finally, anything that was above 2%, which really weren't that many holdings, I went ahead and awarded a 2% percentage of allocation. I think there was only one holding that was 3%. Yeah, that's correct. It's here. The VOO is the largest single holding that I have as an ETF. One drawback, I guess, to the portfolio, if there is any, is the capability. I think M1 Finance will actually fix this, but it doesn't allow me to do a 5-year back test for performance. I've rolled that out many times. I think it's somewhat irrelevant when I'm looking to share so much information. I mean, we've got 77 total holdings here, 20 of which are Vanguard ETFs. The remaining 57 are single equity holdings. So the stocks, you can go down, you can see what type of rendering I'm getting on this portfolio, at least these three accounts lumped into this one. So this is basically a super portfolio. and it's shared to you free of charge. I mean, you could do one of two things. Either you could use the information, run down the list here that I'm doing for you right now. I've actually awarded, within some fairly interesting accuracy, these percentages of total overall allocation. I think if I went into the reports function in my large accounts, I don't think that these would be that far off. But I did have to use the estimate that I've already disclosed at the top of the video. But, you know, you could use this just from a visibility standpoint. You could use this and save it as your own watch lists. I mean, I've got a ton of good quality here in the portfolio. It's a lot of fun to look at. And the other option, which is just crazy to think about now, is that you could actually take this portfolio and invest in it as you see fit. And, you know, it doesn't mean that you have to invest in this exact same portfolio. You could take it and use it as a benchmark. You know, if you didn't want growth in it, you could omit Facebook. You know, you could, I've got Google and Amazon in here as well. You guys know that. There's Amazon and Google right above it. You could, you know, kind of tailor this portfolio to your liking. I think it's lovely, and it's only made possible through M1 Finance. So really doing some cutting edge stuff in taking, you know, portfolio holdings and just displaying them in a different, more creative manner rather than just looking at a spreadsheet. I think it's a cool way to not only demonstrate information but also share it. And that way people can really take part in, you know, a lot of hard work and a lot of years of building this up. I do like this is that it gives a total portfolio expense. It doesn't get any better than that. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. This is my wheelhouse. This is where I live. So you've got to imagine the majority of this portfolio is housed, at least 2 out of the 3 accounts. The third account, which is the joint brokerage account, is spackled into this, and the majority of them are the bond holdings. I only have 2 total market ETFs in the joint brokerage account, which is the developed European markets, and then VTI, which is the total stock market. But those are the only 2 equities holdings in the joint brokerage account. The rest are fixed income. All 3 short, medium, and longer duration bond ETFs from Vanguard. Those are spackled in throughout this portfolio, but pretty exciting stuff, man. When you look at this and you're looking at, you know, I'm not necessarily a pure play dividend investor, but this is the yield that we're getting on the portfolio as a whole. So respectable, 2.5, 2.6. I'm happy with that. Because again, that's not my central area of focus, as the majority of my capital appreciation has come not only from dividends but also the capital appreciation of the equities that are held in the stock, and doing some swing trading as well in the portfolio and generating some capital. And I just can't express enough this right here, how low of an expense is. So I will be sharing this with you guys. I really hope you enjoyed. This is just an awesome way to share information. This is what I consider the super portfolio. This is what I've got. And what a great way to use M1 Finance in this way, in that you could have 77 holdings, but you could start this portfolio or start the funding of this with any amount of money, and it's relative. You know, this is worth about $250,000. This portfolio is a $250,000 portfolio, but it's amazing to think that you could adjust to your liking and start it with $500. I think it's amazing the power of the transmission of information now, made possible by M1 Finance. So really hope you guys appreciated this, got value. I will push out as much as I possibly can for you guys in way of getting you this information. I will share this pie in the description. I will share it in the community comment section, so you guys can have access to this and use it as you see fit. So I hope you enjoyed. I'll kick you back to YouTube. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed that review. That's just a quick review of the Three large portfolios lumped into one, made possible only through the technology in M1 Finance to be able to chronicle this portfolio and share it with others. Pretty awesome stuff. If you are interested in the M1 Finance opportunity, certainly want to click on the link in the description of this video below. The Independent Investor channel is affiliated with M1 Finance. We can receive a small compensation for providing the referral to you guys, and if you do opt for their service, it absolutely helps support the message that we're putting through on the channel. So if it's your first time, hit the subscribe button for me. Leave your comments at the bottom of the video. Share the message with anybody out there that you know is looking for some preliminary information on the stock market. Like I've said many times, there's been no better time in the history to become an investor. It's a very exciting time. No better time than now. So turn them on to the channel, bring them on. We'll welcome them and we'll bring them up to speed on the awareness to the stock market for sure. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into the message, and good luck in your investment future.